We are back here on Girl Talk, and yes, we are with Sean at Custom Audio Video. Wow, exciting times these days, Sean. What are we going to talk about today?
Yeah, definitely exciting times. I mean, we haven't done this before in terms of being in separate places during one of these interviews. So today I figured we'd talk a little bit about where CAV is in all of this, and then something that's very important in all of our lives right now, networking.
Talk to me a little bit about what networking means, especially when it comes to custom audio video and from your end.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we've all experienced in the last 6 weeks the importance of a home network. When I say network, I mean our home Wi-Fi, our internet access at home, both wired and wireless devices. So from our perspective, networking is all about having those devices connected, but then also getting the speed that you need to do all of the different things you need to do at the same time. So for a family, that those demands might be a lot different depending on who needs to do what, whether that's Zoom calls, schooling online, somebody's playing some games, somebody's streaming music, somebody's streaming a movie or news. So there's a lot of demands on our internet today, and having a good network is important.
So my question for you, Sean, is this. How do I assess how much power I need or how much internet I need? And then how can you help me not only make that assessment, but make my home more accessible to all of those things?
Yeah, so there's actually a few pieces, and we can help with some of it. Some of it's going to come from, say, a Hargray or a Spectrum. That they're the ones that are providing the ultimate speed, the amount of speed that you can get to your home. Now, we can, of course, help in going, you need to get this kind of package from them. But where we will come in is assessing your home, how big it is, what it's made out of, to think about Wi-Fi connectivity. Because we've all been in places where Wi-Fi is really strong in one part of the home, and then you go to another room and you can't get anything. So we can help take care of that.
So what kinds of things do you look for, Sean? What are you actually specifically addressing? If you would do a walkthrough through my home or another home, what specific things would you be looking at? You said size, but what else?
Yeah, so we're looking at size. We're looking at building materials. Older homes, for instance, don't do as well because of what walls are made out of. We're also looking at where's the common areas. Are there areas of your house that maybe we don't need to cover as well? Where's your office? Where are you doing most of your network usage? Are you doing it in the living room? Are you doing it in that office? Are you doing it out on the back porch? So taking all of those things into account is very important.
Is it more about how big your home is, or is it also about the material that your home is made from? Let me ask you a question about number of users too. If I have 3 kids and I'm using my internet, now we're all homeschooling and they're Zooming, and does that have an impact on how much internet space we will have?
Yeah, so that definitely has an impact on the bandwidth. The best way to think of bandwidth is think of like a hose giving you a certain amount of water. The more times you split that hose, the less water pressure you're going to get on the other end. So that's the same thing. The more people you have using the internet, the less speed you're going to get on one certain device because it's kind of being divvied all up. But yes, in terms of like home size, a lot of the products that we work with have variable strengths, so we can design it to have a wide expansion on, say, this wireless access point, so that a lot of people can connect to that one. Or we can have several of them throughout the home that have a more narrow focus that your devices are seamlessly talking to as you move throughout the house, depending on the design of your house. Sometimes houses aren't necessarily squared or circular that work well with a network piece. They can be very linear in some ways. So, we don't want to cover out in the middle of your yard that you never really go into because of the way your house is. So taking all those things into account is what our designers do.
Is there a different process between retrofitting and then doing a new construction when it comes to the wiring piece of it?
Yeah, absolutely. The further that we can get a wire in this system, the better. So when we use, say, a wireless access point that maybe is going to be, in the bonus room above your garage, If we can get that access point wired back to the hub, you're going to get better usage out of it, better service. Sometimes that's not possible with retrofit without a substantial work. So new construction is always best. If you're doing any kind of work, if you're building a home, you're renovating, there's going to be open space in the walls. The earlier that you get somebody like us involved, the better, because we can plan for those kind of things.
That makes so much sense to me. It's always a ball to have you. I always learn something, and I go home wishing and wanting to redo my house every time we talk. So again, Sean, thank you for joining us. We want to thank all of you for joining us here on Girl Talk. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.